In today's video, we're going to be installing a brand new Toto Drake toilet on a new flange, so let's jump right into it. You can see that my flange is flush with the flooring, and that's going to be perfect for a standard wax ring installation. This Johnny ring comes with a set of brass closet bolts, and so the first order of business is going to be to get those installed and tighten them up. If your flange is below the flooring, you might want to invest in a flange extension kit. Odie makes a great one called the Set Right Kit, and all you need is a cordless drill to be able to install it. It comes with stainless steel screws. If you have a slab foundation, then you're going to want to buy some masonry bits and some concrete anchors. Your set of closet bolts might not come with this extra nut and washer, but if you do have it, it's great to be able to bolt it down to the flange. That way it stays secure as you're setting the toilet. We're going to grab the wax ring and then lightly press it into the flange. Don't compress it all the way because you're going to grab the toilet to do that. Hover over those closet bolts and get it perfectly straight before compressing all the way down to the finished floor. Once you've got it all the way down, you can grab a toilet shim and then check for any gaps around the base of the toilet. If there are none, you can grab the base of your toilet bolt cap covers and then go ahead and install that second set of bolts to the top. You're going to go back and forth tightening each side a little bit at a time, that way you don't stress the porcelain. I like to tighten it until that toilet washer starts to conform to the shape of the toilet, and then I'll stop and check for wiggles. Now we can grab our toilet tank box and go ahead and rip that open. We're going to set the lid to the side for now and then grab some excess cardboard to put down on the tile, and then we'll set our tank on top of that. We can rip off all this excess packaging, and then we'll grab our bag that contains the tank to bowl gasket, the bolts, the washers, and the nuts. It also contains some parts for the water line, and we're going to go ahead and toss this rubber washer and that compression nut because we don't need those. We've got a brand new supply line. Now we're going to grab our bolts and insert the rubber washers onto those, and then insert those through the top of the tank. This toilet also comes with 2 sets of nuts and washers for the tank to bowl connections, so we're going to go ahead and install those before we actually set the tank. This is the Toto Drake toilet, and it's probably one of the best gravity flushing toilets on the market, and I really suggest it. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I do install these toilets quite frequently. And I know from experience that you have to get this nut super tight. It almost feels like you're going to break the toilet, but you won't. And if you don't do that, then it's going to spin the entire bolt as you do the one below the bowl, and it just doesn't give you a great feeling. So make sure you really snug up these connections and get them almost as tight as you possibly can. And again, this only applies to the Toto Drake toilet, so if you're using a different manufacturer, do not get it as tight as you possibly can because you'll probably wind up with some broken porcelain and a laceration. Once we get this done, we're in the home stretch. We're just going to grab it and then install it down to the bowl. It's pretty straightforward. Just make sure that it's sitting even against the wall, and then you can go ahead and install your washer and your nut down below the tank. Again, you're going to tighten on each side a little bit as you go to not stress the porcelain, and Toto is going to recommend that you have 3 spots that are all touching, 2 on the sides and 1 in the back. So just make sure you tighten accordingly. Now we'll grab our braided steel supply line and install that to the valve. This one's a little bit tight to the floor and it's right behind the toilet, so definitely not ideal. Hopefully you end up with some better circumstances. Once we've got that installed, we can open up our angle stop going to the toilet and start checking for leaks. I like to give it a couple flushes before I do any sort of caulking or anything like that around the base. In this case, we'll skip that step because the contractor is going to install grout and color match it and make it look really pretty. So all that's left for me to do is install the slow close seat, the toilet tank lid, and then I'll jam on the bolt covers on top of those bolts. Now we're going to check it for leaks one more time, just give it a couple whirls, and look at that. You made it through the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.